All right, we're on the lesson on angles and the unit circle. The first thing that we're going to talk about is that all of these triangles are going to have a hypotenuse that is 1 long. If you recall yesterday, we had 3 triangles that had a hypotenuse 1 long. We had a 30-degree angle, that had hypotenuse 1 long. We had a 45-degree angle that had a hypotenuse 1 long. And we had a 60-degree angle, that had a hypotenuse that was 1 long. 1, 1, and 1. Now the beauty of it was that when the hypotenuse is 1 long, the opposite side is the sine, and the adjacent side is the cosine. So if you recall, in this triangle, this length was 1, this length, 1/2, and this length was the root of 3 over 2. In the 45, 90 triangle, this was the root of 2 over 2, and this side was the root of 2 over 2. And then in the other triangle, the adjacent side was 1/2, and the opposite side was the root of 3 over 2. So, when we do that, when we have the hypotenuse 1 long, and we make all of those triangles, here's the side, the part where we start. If we make all of those triangles, and not just the ones that we're talking about, but even the triangles that are between those, and even if we go into other quadrants, or into other directions, we end up with a whole bunch of triangles that have the other end of the hypotenuse forming a circle. And so we call this the unit circle. The unit circle has a radius of 1. All right, so what does that do for us? Well, if we were to take our coordinate axes and start on the positive x-axis, we would call this the initial side, and then the other side of our triangle would be the terminal side or ending side. And that terminal side could be anywhere in the whole circle, and we would have a angle. This angle from the initial side to the terminal side is called the angle in the standard position. All right, so we could have an angle like this, where this would be 120 degrees. Or like this, where this angle would be 200 degrees. Or like this, where this angle might be 300. This angle here might be 300 degrees. In each case, we always measure the angle going counterclockwise. If we were to measure that exact same angle going counterclockwise, this angle here would be negative 240 degrees. This angle here would be negative 160 degrees. This angle here would be negative 60 degrees. What's true is that in each case, you add the absolute value of those two together. In each case, you get 360 degrees. 360 there, 360 there, 360 there. Okay, so let's look at some examples of these kinds of angles. Page 709 of your textbook. So if this angle here between the initial side and the terminal side, if this angle is 45 degrees, that is the standard position. So we would say the standard position is 45, and we would say it is also negative 315 degrees. Okay? You can do each one of them from 1 through 19. Now, what's interesting about them is that if you look at number 12, you would agree this is 360 degrees. But then it says you go not just the 360, but 385. Okay, so you went past 360, you went 25 degrees past 360. So this angle here, in standard position, we would say that's the same as a 25-degree angle, which is the same as a negative 300, what would that be? 335-degree angle. Okay, so you can do all of them 1 through 19. See you tomorrow.